Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're looking at some more Marvel Minimates figures released by Art Asylum Diamond Select in 2015. Now this particular wave that I'm taking a look at is really cool. It's based off the Uncanny X-Men, more specifically issue number 275, or at least the cover of that issue, that shows all the X-Men in sort of their new, at the time, modern training danger room outfits. And these outfits have been seen from time to time in the comics since the early 90s. Most recently, they were seen during Chris Claremont's Uncanny run during X-Men Reloaded back in the mid-2000s, but they are uniforms that were sort of based off the very first X-Men issue 1 costumes from way back in the 1960s. But this line of Minimates does actually feature these X-Men in training outfits, and you get characters like Banshee that you see here, first time in a Minimate form, and then you get other characters in the line like Pyro you see up here to the right, who is a member of Freedom Force. So in every 2-pack, you're getting a member of the Uncanny X-Men or the Freedom Force, which I think is a really cool way to do this. And as the box touts here, there is going to be interchangeable parts to turn Banshee into Gambit if that's what you want to do. So a really cool line of Minimates. I was very excited to see these announced. I can't wait to check these things out, so let's go ahead and start by taking a look at that packaging. As you come down the front of this box, you do have the classic Uncanny X-Men logo in the upper left and the Minimates logo on the right. The box does tout the extra parts for Gambits, and then you have a window box packaging that does house the Banshee figure and the Pyro figure inside, as well as some accessories. Then towards the bottom, you do have the logo for Marvel, and off the left-hand side, you do have an image of Banshee, and on the right-hand side, you have an image of Pyro. And as you flip this package around, you've got the logo for Diamond Select Toys and Art Asylum. You then have the logo for Marvel and Minimates. You then have a complete lineup of all the figures available in this wave, as well as the interchangeable characters you can build. And then at the bottom, you've got the bio for Banshee. Go ahead and pause now to read that. And on the right-hand side, you have the bio for Pyro. Go ahead and pause now to read that. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. Let's say we get these mutants out of the box and see what they're all about. Alright toy fans, so here we have Banshee and Pyro out of the packaging, and both of these little Minimate guys look absolutely great. I'm a big fan of the paintwork that's been applied to both of these minifigures, especially with the musculature even showing beneath all of the added-on pieces that each one of these guys have. But as you take a look at the Banshee up close, I want to point out that the hair sculpt on this guy is really nice. Look at all the sculpted line work and detail in on this piece. Now, there's no paint work on this hair sculpt, but I do think the actual hair piece looks really great. Even the face work on this Banshee figure I think is very appropriate. I like the paint work around the mouth and around the eyes and the eyebrows. Now, the hair does kind of swoop over one of the eyes a little bit. Not really comic accurate, but not a big deal overall. And then we have very clean paint work with the blue and the yellow coming down the costume as well. But look at these sort of belt pieces. Very 90s here, both on the legs, on the shins, and on the wrist for this figure. And then we have the trademark Banshee cape with the yellow and black pattern inside and on the outside. So a very good Banshee Minimate figure. Excellent for this first rendering he's received. Then we have the Pyro figure here. Now at the Pyro, I want to note that for some reason his eye paintwork, it does not line up with the sculpting underneath. Not really sure why that is, but it does look nice from a distance. Now he does have some obvious paint slap here on the hair, and I wish that was a little bit better. And then we can pull off this mask, and underneath you have a very nice sort of face work for St. John Allardyce. Very nice and evil and menacing. Now, he doesn't have an extra hair sculpt to put on him when the mask is not on. A little bit of a bummer there, but with as many accessories as this box set has that you're going to see in a little bit, I don't think you'll be disappointed by the time this review is done. And then we have this metallic magenta-y sort of paint here for the shoulder armor. It goes on the hoses here, on the flamethrower ends, and even on the boots for the figure. It looks very nice. And we have very clean paint and yellow paintwork on the rest of the figure. And as we flip them around, some excellent detail here on the backpack for the flamethrower. So really just a great looking little minifigure. And I do like that the hoses are so long that they don't hinder the articulation whatsoever. A great move there by Art Asylum and Diamond Select. These are some really fantastic little X-Men figures. Pyro and Banshee come with all the accessories that you see here. And as you can see, we've got a lot to play with. It's pretty fantastic. Let's start with the Pyro figure. He's got these sculpted flame pieces. Each one is identical to the other one. Very nice sort of flame detail on here and a nice translucent red plastic. And it does have sort of a Minimate grip on the back of the item here. So you can plug it onto your Pyro figure just like that. Each hand holds the flames very nicely. And I'm glad that they went this route versus having an accessory where you'd have to shove it onto the hand of the figure, you know, and down over the wrist, like we've seen in the past. Problems with those existed where when you try to pull the piece off, the actual hand of the Minimate would come with it and sometimes get stuck in the accessory. So having an accessory that the Minimate can actually grip onto, I think is a very nice way to go ahead and show this flame effect. And if we get Hydro-Mans or anything like that in the future, I'd like to see that sort of design included with those Minimates as well. But then we see the Banshee figure here. So for Banshee himself, you can see that he has the clear stand, just like the Pyro figure does. Minimates are always coming with those anymore. But you can actually pull the stand off, and you've got a very nice flight stand that fits the Banshee minifigure. It just plugs in on the one side, and then you can actually make it look like Banshee is flying around and doing what he does best. But to top things off and make it even better, you can pull off Banshee's head sculpt here, and just pop it off just like that. Comes off very easily. And we have this sort of cone shape, which is really, really cool. It plugs onto the minifigure, and then you can actually plug the head back onto Banshee. And you'll see here that he's actually doing his sonic scream, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It looks really nice. You can see the mouth through it on the end, or from the side view, it just looks really, really cool. So you can actually have Banshee flying around on his flight stand and blasting his sonic blast at anyone who's unfortunate enough to be in the way, which I think looks really, really great. And then, on top of everything else, we've got this full Banshee Minimate figure, but we also have these pieces for Gambit. And it's really easy to go ahead and pull the head off of this Banshee figure. You can pull off the cone, pull off the cape, and then you can put the knapsack or the satchel here that holds Gambit's accessories. Just plug it on, slide it over the neck peg there, and put the Gambit head on. And I gotta point out too that this Gambit head looks really, really nice too. Very excellent paintwork here on the face with the eyes and the mouth, but then the sculpting of the hair is also phenomenal. So really, they went all out with the work on this figure here. And as you plug this head on, you can see that you can have Gambit standing with, you know, just his regular neutral hands, or if you wanted to, you've actually got these two kinetic energy effect hands. So you can actually pull off the hand sculpts for the Banshee figure, and they're a little tight to get off, but they're not too bad. And you can plug these on. This hand is designed to be Gambit's left hand, and this hand is designed to be Gambit's right hand. And as you plug them on here, you've got a powers-wielding separate Minimate figure, really, to accompany your Minimate box set. It also almost gives you the incentive to want to buy two of these things, so you can complete a separate Gambit figure and have your separate Banshee figure as well. But really, a nice amount of accessories. I cannot compliment it enough. Articulation for these Minimate figures is basically identical. Pyro's got a slight bit of hindrance here at the top of the shoulders, so for the purpose of this review, I'm going to show you how they move with Gambit. They do have a ball-jointed head that rotates all the way around and can spin a full 360 degrees. They have ball-jointed shoulders that do rotate all the way around, as well as bending out from the body about that far. Single-jointed elbows, full rotation here at the wrist, same rotation here on the other side, full waist rotation, hip rotation, the leg can bend forward that far, bend back that far, bend out from the body that far. There is a single jointed knee that bends down very nicely, and then we do have a full rotation here at the foot. As you can see, it's still attached to the base, but it is spinning all the way around. So really a great range of articulation for such tiny little minifigures. Height-wise, we can see that these Minimates do stand right about 2.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have these Minimates compared to the Mega Bloks Spider-Man minifigure, and compared to Creo Transformers Cheetor. Here they are compared to a Lego minifigure. And here they are compared to the average-heighted Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Wolverine Minimate figure. Look at us, Irish. Aren't we just a snapshot of dead mutant characters? Aye, I'd say you'd have a point there, boyo. Oh, crikey. And finally, here they are compared to the original Minimate line. We have Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Uncanny X-Men Minimates 2-pack featuring Banshee and Pyro, released by Diamond Select and Art Asylum in 2015. Overall, if you're a fan of Minimates and a fan of the X-Men, this is a must-buy for you guys. In fact, you may want to buy two of them, just so you can actually get a separate Gambit minifigure to go along with your Banshee. You'll end up with two Pyros, but what are you going to do? But I think it's really great that Diamond has given us such a great set of accessories to these Minimate figures. The paintwork and sculpting on these guys looks absolutely fantastic, and I really think this is a very, very fun set. Now, for those of you who think, why didn't Diamond just make Gambit his own figure? Well, guys, probably the reason Gambit's coming as accessories means that it was either that or no Gambit at all. So, if Diamond had to do that to give us more figures, I say more power to him. But the moral of the story, you definitely want to pick these guys up. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.